Hi, I'm here to share a few thoughts with us this afternoon. Some of these are things that the Lord spoke with me a couple weeks back, and I found these words and these thoughts very inspiring, encouraging. Now I sense that those words were given not just for myself, but they are for persons as well. And these words are for persons who you know that you've moved to a new place in the realm of the spirit. You've gone to another dimension. You're experiencing new things in the realm of the spirit and being able to demonstrate and exercise even new and greater things in the spiritual realm. But in the midst of that, you see things in the natural that seem as difficult and complicated. And you then ask yourself, well, okay, what's going on? You see on one end where the hand of God has positioned you and repositioned you to a place in Him that you've never been before, but yet you're seeing, even in the natural realm, some difficult things. And a couple weeks back, I spoke to the Lord, and these are the words that He gave to me, and I sense that this is for persons who you experience this and are experiencing it right now as well. And the words go, I will do well for you. You will fare well. There are times that you're experiencing things and you tend to wonder, well, what is going on? God says that I will do well for you and you shall fare well. You have not been moved out of place, but in place. I have shifted you for my glory and for my purpose. He says, move into this new elevated place. Take up residency in the place. Occupy and operate from the space. For I'm causing you to grow, develop, and maneuver in a spiritual dimension you have not known of or seen of before. And each realm is different. Sometimes God takes you to a realm, He takes you to a place in Him, and the situations are different, the experiences are different. In this case, we're dealing with things that seem to be three times harder, that is the resistance. And God is saying, yes, you've now moved to a new place in the spiritual realm. Now begin to move in and occupy. Move in and take up residency. Every time we move to a new dimension in the realm of the spirit, there are entities that have access on that realm that says you're not going to become established in this dimension. You're not going to explore the landscape in this new dimension. And depending on the depth or the height that you've gone, the resistance can be even three times more difficult than you've ever seen before. And God is saying, take up residency. And that would call for even a pushing against the resistance in that dimension that is coming against you. He said that the resistance, as you push against it, and though it may seem hard, and though it may seem slow, in your maneuvering, what he says is that you're developing spiritually and that you are maneuvering into realms that you've never known before, things you've never seen or heard of before. The reality of it is that the enemy does not want us to even become established in the places that God would take us, even in the realm of the spirit. And what he does is he comes with a great opposition to intimidate or to even make you feel like something is wrong. But God is saying no. He says occupy. And something occupying calls for changing of a mindset. If God says that you step into, for example, a dimension of wealth, but in the natural you're seeing things in the opposite, you now have to change your mindset and continue to press into the dimension where God says that you are in and see the manifestation of it. So this place that we're talking about is a place where the resistance, it seems to be really tougher than you've experienced before. But God is saying, press in, occupy the land, maneuver in the land. What is really taking place is that you are out of it, you are growing even more in a dimension that you've not seen. You're being developed in a dimension that you've not seen or heard. And he said, because I love you, I will clothe you with a greater essence of myself and the power of my being. So what he's saying, that if you press in, if you maneuver, if you allow the spiritual development to take place by going in and pressing in and occupying this new dimension and functioning and pushing against the resistance and coming against the resistance on this dimension and this level by faith, he says that a greater essence of his being, he will place it upon us, and a greater power will come upon our lives. It may seem difficult, and it may even seem slow, but you got to just keep pressing in that dimension. And he says, God is doing great things in and through you. He says to be at peace. He says to be at rest, because you are his good and faithful servant. The result after the opposition in this new dimension, though you've never experienced opposition like this before, as you continue to press and you develop and you maneuver and as you grow, God is saying that you'll see a greater level of his essence coming upon you, a greater level of his power and being manifested in your life. Why? Because God loves you and he intends to move powerfully in and through your life today. So I say, God bless you. It's not that you're in a wrong place, and it's not that you've done anything wrong. We're not talking to persons who have, stepped out and are not doing, walking in opposite to what God says or doing something wrong. We're talking to those persons that God calls good and faithful servants. The opposition that is coming your way, when you come out of it, you will see dimensions of power and glory that you've never experienced before. You're in the right place, and God is doing something in and through your life in this place. God bless you.